Hey everyone, I've got something pretty cool to show you today. My brother thought of it while we were out of the house, and I managed to plan out all the command blocks and everything in my head while we were out, and as soon as I got home I made this in about 5 minutes. And it works really well for how little effort I put into it, to be honest. So here I have a hopper system all linked up, so that if I were to put an item in here, it would go all the way through the system and end up in here. So with these command blocks, I've made it so that hoppers can now, as well as transporting items, they can transport players. So I'll give you a demonstration and then I'll explain how the command blocks work. So if I go ahead and jump in here, you'll see that I go all the way along the hoppers and I come out at the end. And it doesn't matter where I jump in the command blocks hoppers, I can jump in anywhere and I'll go through the system and come out at the end. Another cool feature is that it doesn't have to be a stationary sort of facing downwards hopper at the end, it can be a sideways one. Don't know why that was in there. It can be a sideways one, in which case I will come out of the side of it instead of coming up at the top. So if I go in it, I come out to the side. You can also create infinite loops like this, linking up hoppers like this, and you go on around forever and ever. You can get out though if you just jump to the side in whichever direction you're traveling, jump perpendicular to that. You can also make like sort of catchment areas where all the hoppers are linked together and then they go down a single like chute. So I can jump in anywhere along here and I'll end up down here at the bottom. So I could just change that to that and I get pushed out to the side instead of pushed out upwards. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool idea. My brother just came up with it while we're out. So I'll explain how it works now. It's pretty simple. First I should note that these are the hopper data values. So a normal hopper has a data value of 2 when it's facing downwards. When it's facing this way, it has a data value of 2, 3, 4, and 5 for this way. So what I've got over here, oh yeah, don't ask me why 1 isn't used, because I don't know. I had to figure that out for myself. I got loads of errors from that. That's probably what took up most of my time, to be honest. So in the first one, we have an execute on all players command. When it detects a hopper of data value 2, so in other words, the hopper that's facing, I think it's this way or whatever, when it detects a hopper which is 1 block below the player, it will also teleport the player 1 block downwards. So basically, if you are standing on a hopper that is facing a direction, in other words not stationary, facing a direction like that, then you'll get teleported downwards so you're inside the hopper. So that does that for all 3, 4 and 5 different type data tags for them, and then we get on to the teleporting in the direction. So it detects when you're inside a hopper this time, and it teleports the player in the direction which the hopper is facing. So in this case it's facing this way, so when I jump on top of this hopper I'll get teleported down inside it and then teleported out that way. So if I jump in there, it does it pretty fast. You can't really see the 2 separate teleport commands. And so that does the same for each type of hopper. And then we get to these 2 at the end, which are slightly different. If you are inside a hopper that is stationary, then you get teleported 1 block upwards. That's only if you're inside of it though. So if I were to jump in this hopper, or if I were to stand on top of this hopper, I'd get teleported down inside it, teleported this direction, and then because I'm inside this stationary hopper, I get teleported upwards. I guess I shouldn't really call it stationary, but I don't know what else to call it. Normal hopper. So yeah, that's how that bit works. But then I also wanted to add sort of downwards motion, which without this command block wouldn't be possible. So without that, I cannot have any downwards motion. I just end up that. So that would pretty much limit how you could use it, because you couldn't make it go downwards. Well, I guess you could have like drops where you have a sideways one and then you fall and then get carried off, but I wanted to make it so you could like seamlessly have a command hopper system. So that's where this command comes in, and it actually detects when a hopper of type 0 is 2 blocks below, and it teleports you 2 blocks down, and that sort of counteracts the teleporting 1 block up. So when you're actually going down here, you're actually being teleported up 2 blocks down, up 2 blocks down, up 2 blocks down, up 2 blocks down, and then around. So it isn't great in that respect, but it solves the problem of not being able to have downwards hopper systems. But you don't really notice it because it's going at 20 ticks per second, so it is extremely fast. You don't really notice it at all. So I think it's fine. The only problem is that if you're at an end hopper like this, and you can see there, if you start jumping, you get sort of teleported 2 blocks down because it's detecting a hopper 2 blocks below you. So it teleports you down into the hopper, then because there's no hopper beneath that, it teleports you up. So it's kind of a bit iffy on that respect, but I think it works well apart from that. There's also these sandstone blocks beneath the hoppers, and that's actually because when you first enter a hopper, you have sort of velocity, so you can sometimes sort of fall through the hoppers if you don't have something stopping you, if they're in the air like this. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen if you're sort of moving at an angle or something like this. Yeah, so like that. Sometimes it can work fine, like there, it worked fine. But yeah, just to sort of solve that problem for good, you can just put a layer of block underneath it. It doesn't really matter what block, I suppose. It's also fine for sort of survival mode. You won't get hurt or anything when you go into it, because hoppers are a transparent block, so they don't damage you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll try and make a schematic of this sort of thing if you don't want to write out all the command blocks, and I'll probably make a separate world to paste the schematic into for a world download in case you don't want to do MC edit. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.